That's
Watching you guys do that, Captain what Armando? Captain Armando will also lift up his sleeves and like, we all have it.
standing up and like kicking back the chair. And oh god, I've just noticed my bed. Uh, that's a true witch's curse, that is. We've been witched. What nonsense witchery is this, you Tuscan fiend?
I I don't know. I the high priests, they often, they'll buy pieces of art and have it brought brought to them, but nobody actually believes in curses. They're campfire stories.
I am coming around to it now. The flash of light, the burning, the marks on our wrists. I flipped ahead to the last page of the journal earlier because I wanted to know how it ended, of course. And it mentions that the date is 3 months after he says he experienced the flash of light and the burning. And the marks on his wrists had grown all the way to his heart, and he struggled to draw breath.
These words cannot leave this room. Crew morale is already dangerously low, what with us all being cursed. Just
So James, he did travel through Al-Shakek, right?
He did, yes.
It appears, Annabelle, that you had good judgment in picking me up on that island there. If we wish to go to where the skull was originally found, we will have to travel through Al-Shakek.
my first plan is to get back to the Turner fleet. Get this lumber sold. Maybe there's someone there who knows more. Maybe this fellow's lips will loosen on the way. And then we'll sell him to anyone who's willing to take him for ransom.
But hey, my lips are as loose as they're gonna get. I also am now suffering from this same curse. And my accent is just jumping all over the place. He's supposed to be Spanish, but it's not working.
See,
Then you have to roll your R's.
Yeah, I got to roll it.
There you go.
Yes.
No, he's from
See.
the West Countries of Spain.
Yar,
Okay.
or
Well, yeah. Anyhow,
Gruff Moyland.
yeah, he says to that, it. I am just but a ship's captain, and I was just transporting goods.
Have you no
Transporting the
good
goods.
skills then? No useful skills? I was able to dispatch you quite easily, so clearly not swordsmanship. You are not doing a good case to plead to come with us if you believe in this curse.
He he glares at you, and then looks back at the captain and says, you know, uh, uh, what about my men? What is to be done with my crew?
They'll be given the choice of freedom.
Well, may I talk to them?
I'll allow you that privilege, but I'll be present.
He nods to that.
I should be present as well.
Because you
He
have
and
to
his
be
crew are
here.
Tuscan.
Very good.
Do you guys?
Here, child. Be careful with this book.
Actually, Armando will also hold up a finger and point at the chest that you brought down with all of his books, and he says, "Do you mind?"
My eyes narrow at him and
As
go, mind what?
he'll actually take a step towards the chest and reach in, and he'll grab a book, or he'll shuffle a couple of books, and then he'll grab one, and then he'll hand it to you and say, "Start with that one. It's my favorite."
Did what I said not come through?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Sanyo walked over and said, "Here, child. Be careful with this," and handed her the book.
Yeah, I
The
have them
journal?
both now.
Oh, she just didn't react at all?
She grabbed it, but didn't say anything.
I cover the skull back up in that velvet and put it in my desk.
Okay.
And lock the drawer on my desk. And put the key neatly between my bosom.
Okay. And then, yeah. So, yeah, Captain will wait by the door and say, "After you."
I warp to the upper deck.
All right. So,
I ominously hover there.
as soon as you come up the stairs, like the your crew all looks right at you and like kind of stops what they're doing and what happened, Captain? What was that?
There's no use keeping anything from any of you. We're all equals aboard this boat, as you know. 'Twas some kind of Tuscan witchery. I went weird.
Witchery! Murmurs and rumblings begins to erupt on the deck. And
Now,
that's between your crew and like the guys all sitting on the deck as prisoners. Like everybody's murmuring, "Curse! Curse! Tuscan witchery!" And the prisoners just like, "She lies! It's not Tuscan! There's no way!"
keep your mouth shut there. Now, our new guest tells me he had no idea of this witchery aboard his, and I'm inclined to believe him. So I'll grant you surviving crew members of that there boat the choice of your own freedom and serving the Dread Reavers, or marooning on one of those there islands. I'm sure you'll be picked up plenty soon. Now, we'll be investigating this witchery, of course. But first goal remains unchanged. We return to the Turner fleet with this. Sell it good and proper. And then we go from there. Now, this will be put to a vote, of course. But first things first, we need to get all that cargo loaded aboard and get out of here post haste.
And then the captain will step forward and say something, "Crew, I know."
Say something in what language?
He's speaking in Tuscan. And yeah, he says, crew, the the outcome of this last encounter was not a desirable thing, and I know we've lost many brethren, and I know you're scared, and I know that you're confused, and you the captain is right. We all do seem to be cursed equally as members of our crew and the members of her crew are, and I hope you choose to continue living, to continue fighting on, and I free all of you from your responsibilities as enlisted men of the Holy Fleet. Officers, you are still bound to your responsibilities and your duties. The regular enlisted crew, they start looking around, kind of confused, and they're murmuring. One of the officers uh, holds steadfast, and he gets really strong and solemn, and the other officer just goes fucking pale.
They know they're about to get marooned.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, cut their binds. You're not to hold any piece, pistol, weapon, until such notice as I say. And if any of you try a single thing, the lot of you will be sent over the.
They all stand up and slowly like form up, getting ready to, be released.
Now, if you'd be so kind as to supervise them there, guest. There's much cargo to be moved between these boats. And my quarters are dire.
He'll nod and start barking out orders. Um, but actually, as you start going below hold, he'll put his hand on your shoulder as you like walk past him, and he'll say, "Before you maroon me and my officers, can we talk once more?"
I'll no be marooning you, son. He's probably plenty older than me.
Probably, yeah. How old are you?
Like 36, 37?
Oh, he's probably like 40, so
Okay.
not ridiculously older. He'll nod and continue barking out orders.
But I have no plan to maroon your lads until we set sail from this.
Cool. Yeah, so the grates come off, people go down below deck, and this grate comes off and this grate comes off, and the winches and cranes and everything start getting moved, and they start moving goods. Let's get a glance at what Ever and Z are up to.
Actually, Sonia was just about to go over to brain damage.
All right.
My Shaishi friend. May I see your wrist?
You find brain damage working with the carpenters. He's helping out.
Ah,
Oh, so you're actually probably in the hold, helping
Yeah.
patch the.
May I see your wrist?
He drops the tools, take a step away. Yep. Okay. He looks at his wrists.
Yeah. You got 2 black marks. One on either wrist.
What is this? I try to rub them off.
You heard what the captain said in her address to the crew. I believe that we shall be going on a quest of sorts to solve this. It will be dangerous and we'll be traveling through many lands. It would be important to me to know that there was someone who could have my back and whose back I could have should things come to conflict.
Yeah.
You are a magnificent warrior, and I can get us through Al-Shakek.
I hope we don't have much trouble there. A few more like this, and we won't have a boat anymore.
Yes, perhaps. Well, I will leave you to your work.
He goes back to hammering.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the couple other crewmen down there are looking because they don't understand necessarily the conversation that just happened. They're kind of whispering at each other. Grog.
Can I spend like 2 hours cooking
Yeah.
for a +2 on the roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what you're gonna be doing for the next good play bit. But yeah,
Yeah, like once he woke up, he's like, "Oh well, everybody that's alive is gonna be hungry. Better get to work." And he starts cooking for a long time. And oh my god!
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you make something absolutely bomb. Thank God for all those spices.
Remember the One Piece meals, like rice with fish and octopus with spices. There's a lot of. He makes a pie from the biscuits, the tart biscuits.
Okay.
Hard tart. He makes them with a chicken pie with gravy. He makes a lot of cod meats and whatever dried up he could with some wine, and then serves it with some pasta since they probably got some from the boat. And whatever other things that he can make for a feast. Not much he could do for sweets other than a little bit of lemon on some butter and lobster. But that's what he can come up with.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. There are definitely crew members like down on this deck, like they're guiding Timber down through the access grates, and yeah, they're definitely commenting like, "Ooh, something smells delicious."
As crew starts coming, he comes up with a big tray full of mugs of rum, and then he starts baconing,
Beckoning?
like beckoning people to come as he started singing. One mug full of rum in the morning is just too much for a lover. Come and feast, my friends! Ha 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 ha!
Okay. Yeah. Everybody takes you know, dispersed breaks, so, a couple of them come over at a time and have a quick quick drink of rum. But everybody, nobody's willing to have the entire crew stop working for fear of the wrath of the captain.
Well, for the ones in his turn, he will make sure to raise the morale of the crew with that full feast with rum. He's making sure to use plenty of salt so that they don't go dehydrated from the rum drinking.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody's
TL7 cooking science.
everybody's getting to work. Morale's low-ish. Like,
We just got cursed. What do you want from me, stupid game?
Yeah.
Shaking my fist at the morale count.
yeah.
If this curse brought this awesome food, I say bring more curse.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay, so during the loading, does anybody else want to be working on anything else?
Well, I did you see my whisper and the roll above the whisper?
I saw some
Oh.
lockpicking. I feel like you got that skull out and filled it with rum or something.
No. Okay. Yes, you achieve that.
And it's still wrapped in the cloth,
Yes.
mind you,
Yes.
on the desk. But I am doing a thorough research roll with this journal and supplemental materials. Cat, I know. Sorry.
We would have a ship's cat for sure, 100%, to deal with all the millions of ship's rats.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I know you've been on lockdown for the past 3 years, but all right. Research and with my it's a -2 for my library, right? Yeah,
Yes.
-2.
For what in particular?
Do you need something for your
What
library
skill?
to make it a plus?
Research.
No, what skill is your library for?
Mainly history and the like. So I guess it would actually give. Because I actually took a few of them. Let me double check my inventory here. Yeah, I had 5 of them. So one is history, one is like science, one is like map or like geography. I actually haven't come up with the other 2 yet.
Social studies and
law.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll a research.
Containing to this book in particular, and it's -2 because it's just a basic library. And yeah, I think that's it. By 7.
Yeah, you don't find much, but you definitely do find you actually find it more in like a book about, legends. It's like 2 paragraphs, and it's just about how the legend of Admiral Joaquin Castellon and his cursed crew. And yeah, basically just kind of confirms what the journal says. They sailed to Al-Shakek. They found a place of worship and religion that was very similar to theirs, but instead of the center focus being the god of life, the sun god, there was a skull, which was representative of the underworld in their religion. So this was sacrilege, and so he took the artifacts and sailed them back to Tuska. And when he got there, he did not get a warm reception, and they pretty much just took the items that he had, buried the whole of his quest, and he and his crew sailed off, only having had enough time to leave the legend.
Okay. By the way, how many pages are left in this journal?
About half of it's been used.
Cool. I'm going to continue the legend in the journal now.
That's awesome, and I support that fully.
So I'm gonna start by illustrating the skull in as fine detail as I can. Where is it? And then what's the correct word? Not chronicling? Yeah, chronicling the day's events.
Okay. Cool. So the captain is what, in the topsails? In the rigging?
Yeah, I'd be in the top if I relieve a couple of those guys who are up there while I keep watch. Pull my spyglass out and scan the horizon.
Okay. Yeah. They'll head down the ladder. They'll actually go straight to the galley and start
Figured they might be hungry.
picking out food. So yeah, you got a couple of customers. They come grab some food there, Grog. Sit down,
Awesome.
start eating.
Side note, by the way, it's in Tuscan, Tusca, however you pronounce it.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Like,
keeping the language the same.
yeah, I can speak it accented, but I can write it natively.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. You do that.
I do that.
All right. So yeah, the loading goes pretty unhindered. Could be faster, but now you've got two crews kind of working together, and there's some animosity right now. So, they're doing their best. The officer that went super pale is actually attempting to help make this go really smooth with his crew. He's keeping everybody kind of in line and working like that. The other officer is just looking stone cold at everybody. He's not helping. He's posted himself up next to a cannon and he's just sitting there.
Lay about.
And yeah, Captain Armando is trying to make this go smooth as well. And eventually you get all the lumber and everything from the other ship loaded in, and Captain Armando will come up to you and say, the transfer of goods is complete, ma'am. Mum.
We should set sail. Order all crew to stop work and get to a listening position.
Yeah, he does that.
Vote time. Now, new fellas, you've not earned the privilege of a vote yet. So, all crew present and accounted for. And I hope to hear a chorus of ayes from that.
Yep. Aye, you hear a couple from below deck. Aye!
Perfect. Okay, first point. Go on. What were you saying, Senor?
You said A, I said Macarena.
Wah wah.
Oh, Luke, could you also put the information on rank in the Dread Reavers handout?
Yes, I will get on that.
But yeah, your speech.
First point of order. Next destination. I propose return to the Turner fleet with this lumber. Make a short stop at that peninsula yonder to drop off our new officer. Are there any other suggestions from the crew? I gave him a few seconds if anyone wants to call out.
You get a whole bunch of silence and nays. Like a whole bunch of people like, nay!
Then the yays.
Yay! Like most of the crew.
The yays have it. And for our new crew, are they to be afforded rites of initiation after our journey to the Turner fleet? Should they desire.
The new or the your crew, it takes a little bit of time before they start responding, but eventually one guy says yay, and then the rest of the crew kind of quietly agrees. Yes.
The yays have it for now. Once the stock is sold, we'll do a proper division of the spoil.
Yay.
And there'll be no worrying ourselves on this curse nonsense until we're at least back at the Turner fleet and in a position to deal with it properly. Double rations of rum for the journey home.
You get a small cheer to that. And then Captain Armando will be like, he'll lean over to you and like, you know, Captain, one of the items, one of the goods we were shipping was quite a bit of fine quality rum.
If Cookie's been below deck, I'm sure he's already got his hands on it.
Yeah, we took everything. We had the space for all of it.
Yeah, I imagine we'd start with things like rum as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we have the 1 ton of rum from their hold, in our hold.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember. Is it 17 an automatic failure, or is only 18?
Yes.
Unless your
Okay.
skill is 18.
No. If your skill is 18, then it's just a 17 is not a crit
Oh,
failure.
yeah,
It's always
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, 17's all.
If your skill's 15 or lower, then it's a crit fail when you roll a 17. So that weren't a crit fail, just a regular.
I do not write a good passage this first day.
You're
It's rambly.
you're limbering up your mind.
Spelling mistakes and you spilt some ink on the page.
I don't spill. I have the pump pen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your fancy fountain pen.
And then actually, before we get too much farther, brain damage. Can I get a carpentry roll from you?
Sure. I'm not a great carpenter, but I do some things.
Does carpentry involve putting holes in things? Apparently.
Yeah, we gotta nail stuff.
Yeah. It's not super pretty, but between you guys, you managed to get this hole patched up, and there's no more water coming in.
Plus the battle patching we already did earlier, so it should be fine.
Oh, to do the actual patch, you know, the battle patching actually had to come out.
Ah.
But now there's a more comprehensive patch, and it's kind of like sewing up a deep wound. You know, you got to put multiple layers of wood in there, and it's a bit of a challenge with water coming at you. But I didn't take any penalty because you've got a whole bunch of people working on it, so
At
just
some
made
point, we'll have to beach you and do a full repair.
I really got WD-40 this chair.
But yeah, the carpenters go upstairs and they're like, we got more working to do. So, all right. So y'all are ready to sail off?
I mean, yeah. How long is it to the flotilla again?
Well, you will be sailing against the wind a little bit. Let's go to the world map here. So you won't be able to make it. It'll be about 2/3 more.
Oh, we
of the
shouldn't be
distance.
measuring from there because we were right here. Remember?
Oh yeah, yes you were. You were down here.
So
And
it's
because you're floating
13.
against the wind, you're gonna have to tack across the wind. So you got to add about half that distance again because you're going side to side.
3 times 1 point times.
Bit over 2,000.
Why can I not hit the keys correctly?
And I put it in there. Your ship's top speed is like 16.1 kilometers per hour. I wound up doing the math.
Sorry, how much was it?
1385.
Kilometers, or not kilometers. The speed.
Although actually, I will mention. You know it moves, so you're going to have to set an intercept course as well. So why don't you give me a navigation there, Luke, or whoever's our navigator?
That's me, but I'm
Quartermaster.
gonna get yelled at. I'm distracted.
Success by 4 on my sea navigation check.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
you take a map and you kind of.
I've got my dividers out. I've got my sextant.
Yep.
Or no, it's just a quadrant at this TL.
Yep, you managed to figure out where it's probably going to be for an intercept. So,
Well, again, what was our speed?
16.1 kilometers per hour.
1 6.
But so should we just double the distance and use the top speed?
That's
To
kind of how
factor in
I wanted to
tacking.
do it. Like I didn't want to make it overly complicated.
Well, we would get there in 5 days.
Cool. Yeah, it'll be about a 5-day journey. So yeah, as you're leaving, you definitely notice on the horizon, you'll definitely notice a couple of bits of brightness coming off the horizon.
We'll want to be shifting fast. I was planning on having these officers rowed to an island, but it might be a plank situation.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, your first stop is the island to maroon those guys.
Yeah.
The one who has decided to go, oh, I'm going to build cross armor and push her.
Cool.
We should maroon the other officer as well, really. Not safe to keep him aboard. That captain's got to stay, because he's worth a lot of money.
Okay. So both officers.
I mean, one of them seemed like he might be quite helpful.
I think we might actually. I think we should keep both of them and then just give them to the fleet so they could ransom them back if anyone wants to.
Aye, that's a good thought, little girl. Good on you, daughter.
But
All right. Well,
when you see that, I'm actually at your desk with the skull out, writing in the notebook.
The Jesus is this? There's no Jesus. What in the Tuscan savior is this? I'll slam the door behind. Don't be letting the crew see that thing.
Do you see any crew in here? Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Aye. And then we'll have a brief conversation about keeping the officers. And there's no real time to maroon them anyway. So
Can I roll a finance or connoisseur to know ransom prices for these kinds of men?
Sure. Take like a -2 just because.
Note that connoisseur is a skill that has
Multiple-
required specialties.
Yeah,
Do you
Right.
have connoisseur people?
Yeah,
I do not have connoisseur people.
That's a good point.
I
That's
have
a skill.
Of
Yeah.
course it is.
you specialize in anything.
It's
Oh, dear.
GURPS.
Consider streetwise. Or some sort of professional skill pirate.
I have streetwise.
I'd say go with that.
Yeah.
Man, it's been really slow on these roll things. I guess everyone and their mother is using Roll20 right now.
Everyone in the map.
Sometimes when you roll again, it kicks it through. Come on!
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. We might get another one here in a second.
Well, we'll go with that first one. So success
Yeah.
by 1. You know that for the captain, you could get 1,000 silver pounds.
What about the officers?
The officers, you're actually not entirely sure if people will pay for them. I get the captain for sure. The officers maybe a
Eh.
couple hundred each.
It's a couple hundred silver in our pockets. And who knows, that one who's been ass kissing might actually do a good job.
Okay. So
While I have Mother in here, I read this and corresponding notes. I just go. So, Sonia was right. It looks like we have a 3-month time limit and do need to go to Alkek.
Is there
That's
a
what-
word in the book on how to cure the thing? How to lift this curse?
No, because they died.
Well, were they onto anything? Did they think of a way to lift it themselves?
Usually in myths and nonsense like this, it's usually if you return the thing, it's good, but I don't know 100%. I need a real library, like I keep telling you, to be able to get a better understanding. Maybe I can look it up in the library in the flotilla, but yeah.
You're like to have more books than any of those real pirates. But no, keep reading. Good work, quartermaster.
all
I'll
right.
smile.
Sorry, keep going. You'll
I'll smile and give a nod. This was the first time I've ever been told to keep reading by my mother, so.
Concerned, can't let my daughter die. She's meant to take over this fleet of one ship. She's meant to help me get it into a fleet first.
Construct a fleet. Okay.
Mass combat. We're coming in hot on the Turner flotilla. We'll take every ship.
All right.
Like-
So 5 days of sailing. What are the rest of the crew doing?
Throw back on the other map again, real quick.
Yes, I do.
I should give you a quick leadership. Make sure everyone's happy. Make sure everyone's doing the jobs.
Everyone is happy as they can be. The food's been good.
Yeah.
There's flavor to it.
He's mostly cooking the perishables so that they can stack up the rest of what is stockable. Probably they had a lot of perishables on the other ship, so that's what he did.
I bet you're curing a load of stuff as well for long-term store.
Yeah, and since they had a lot of rum, he's making a lot of grog to make the water last. Otherwise, it's going to go bad. The bread also has to be made into hard-tart biscuits. Otherwise, it's going to be a barrel full of roaches.
Keep the weevils out of there.
Yep.
If a crewman gets sick, don't send them to Grog to be cured.
James, question.
Yes.
We thoroughly looted the captain's quarters too, right? When we got all that crap out of there.
Oh yeah.
After
So
I spotted my wrecked bedroom, I would have definitely stolen his bed sheets.
stolen his bed.
Yeah. Okay.
Desk, etc.
Then in that case, we will. Yeah, the things on the ship have been cleaned up. Things been patched. It doesn't take too terribly long. But yes, you've got a new desk and a new bed.
Oh shit, my weed! This is where I kept my weed!
Oh,
that's
in the
good.
chest that took a cannonball.
Yeah. Scoop some scraps together. They're all full of cat hairs. Shove them in my pipe. Just like start crying. I'll have to put
At some point
No, go on.
in the week while you're in your room, you'll get a knock.
Hey up. I'm in the bath.
Is the door locked?
No. Enter.
Ah, my fairest Annabelle. I wish to clarify our plans regarding travel to Al-Shakek.
Aye, so... Travel to Al-Shakek seems like the most prudent course after the float.
Good.
And you'll be joining
But
us?
there is further traveling afterwards. Yes, of course. If we are all to die, I would rather have some part in forestalling it.
Very good.
However, there are some issues. Once we are on land, it will become much more difficult to travel with such a large group. Are we to take our entire crew with us? Through the desert?
No. These are not the type for that journey. I'll leave one of them in charge of the ship. One of them's going to need a promotion soon. Probably one of the chief gunners.
Very well. And who are you thinking of bringing along?
all present and accounted for, and anyone else we can take that we might need.
I would suggest our
She.
Shi friend. He is very skilled with his bow.
I want him close for a while, I think. Maybe the longer he goes without remembering his past, the better for us.
You have reason to suspect that there is something unusual?
Just something that would keep him from staying with our crew.
I would also recommend, so that we do not have to worry ourselves with it, bringing your cook, Grog.
The man has one leg, but he's a fine chef.
I will admit that the past couple of years I have rarely cooked a meal for myself, living the life of a nobleman.
Have you told me about, your exploit?
Only what you've heard, really.
Okay.
What I've told you in character.
A bit more info on this would be nice, So, what? Where you inherit some region?
There is no need for so many questions. I was Sanyo. Now I am Sanyo al-Suhail. It is simple as that, really.
Eyebrow raise. Pondering look. And what do you think of the Reavers? This organization? True freedom.
I think it is risky and unnecessarily violent, but it is better than being involved in the troubles that being a nobleman brings. Thank you again for taking me on board.
Aye, well, you're plenty skilled, and there'll be initiation coming up, what with the new boys aboard. And I think you'd have no trouble joining if you were to go through with it. But think on it. It won't be for another week at least.
Very well. May I see the journal again?
If you can pry it out of the girl's hands. You awake, Custado
None?
in the bed.
Oh yeah, I've been watching this whole thing the entire time. Or
James, what do you mean by none?
It was supposed to be a whisper.
Girl?
Man-child?
Be pleasant, daughter.
Yeah.
The book.
Why
You'll
do you
get
need
it back, girl.
You told me to keep reading, Mother. I've already learned about other things that are involved in the curse in the time we've been traveling.
Oh?
Yeah. You think I've just been doing nothing here all day?
Care to share them?
I, Sanyo, and go, There are 4 dragon statues that were there with the skull. I haven't been able to discern a location of where they are yet, but I imagine they'd have something to do. If the curse is to be lifted, we might need to return them as well.
So some silly Tuscan thieves got themselves cursed and brought us all into it, and God knows where their other stolen, thefted, witched items.
Exactly.
Well, share the journal with the man. You don't need it all day, every day.
I'll close it and toss it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any? There are a lot of books lying about. Are there any that aren't titled, like they might be empty books for use as journal?
Uh, roll me a search. Yeah, you find a couple that have got like a couple pages written into them, but are mostly empty.
Like a book that looks like a journal, you mean?
Captain Annabelle Bird's list of top 10 ways to please a man. Number 1. Force his head down there and don't let him up for air. If he goes limp, you're doing the job proper. And then it looks like something distracted me and I stopped writing in that book again.
Okay, Sonia will note the location of the book. He's not grabbing it yet, of course.
Okay, yeah, it's just in the pile at the foot of Castana's bed.
Oh god, has she been reading that book? That book's my own special private book. You know, nobody reading my smut there, girl.
Everything has been read in this room.
Every piece of correspondence ever
Where have you
written.
put the skull at this moment, Annabelle? And while she's looking to point out the skull, I'm gonna grab that empty journal.
Okay.
It's not quite empty.
Do you just point at the desk?
Surely it's not on the desk, just sitting on the desk, wrapped in silk.
It's
On a
in
rolling
one of the
ship?
drawers.
It's where?
In one of the drawers.
Okay, yeah, back in the drawer in the desk for sure.
Well,
I'm
how
gonna
do you?
reach in there for a quill and touch it again and just die.
Okay, when you open that drawer, you will notice that it's not locked.
If you open it, I mean, she just pointed to the desk.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I see. Very well. Well, do you mind if I head to the other side of the ship to read this, or must I read it here?
If you damage it in any way, I will poison your food.
Don't be poisoning no food on this ship, girl. The crew eats that.
Just his. I'm gonna grab another book and start flipping through the pages.
We must have a discussion at some point, Annabelle.
Aye.
And Sonia will leave.
You do realize that man just wants in your pants.
Aye, well, he's got uses besides that. Walk suggestively nude around the room. Just like, oh yeah. Go up to my spotted mirror and enjoy myself a bit. I'm just like, yep, I look.
Roll eyes. Go back to book. It's an audible roll eye.
I'll spend an hour getting dressed in my 50 layers.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and then okay, so Grog's doing a lot of cooking, doing what he can to keep morale up, and what's brain damage been up to?
He is keeping to himself a bit and working on some arrows. He has a Fletcher's kit, so his
Replacing the ones that he's lost.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So, we sail.
So actually, real quickly before we go, after he leaves and Mom gets dressed and like does her business, she is legitimately going to head over to her like alchemy kind of zone, and that now that she's got the idea in her head,
You could make some poison.
I'm gonna make some poison.
Please be careful with the poison. I'm sure you're not telling me that.
I'm not telling you it's poison. You just see me start walking over there and start messing with my alchemy. Like,
don't you stain my bed sheets again with that blue stuff.
it's on the other side of the room now. It's not necessarily for anyone in particular, but now I have a poison.
90% of poisonings are accidental. I read from a pamphlet I've got here on accidental ships poison.
That I wrote and made look official because I have forgery. I don't know what the poison does. I'll have to look it up, but I have something now.
Makes you shit your pants, probably.
Oh no, I'm probably making something more deadly than that. But yeah,
Shit your skeleton out your pants.
Yeah, more like that. But yeah, we can move to other people. That's all I just wanted to mention.
Okay, yeah. You now have a vial of poison.
Smells foul.
Takes you a good long while to create it.
Yeah, that's probably the rest of my thing now that Mr. Needs to Be the Adventurer stole my book.
All right.
You get your book back.
All right. So everybody's got their projects that they're working on the ship, you know, standard ship stuff. Unless anybody's got any qualms or anything else to do, shall we head to the flotilla?
Yo, yar, har, ho. Off to flotilla. Yes, please.
All right. So, in Final Fantasy style, we'll switch to the world map real quick. And
So it doesn't actually.
we'll do that. And we'll switch to the flotilla. All right. So we get to the flotilla. You know, they start. You as you approach the flotilla, you start hearing whistles and seeing people with flags waving at you.
Aye.
Distance communication. You know, they ask you for like an approach code.
Suck my tits, you bastards. It's Annabelle, Bird of the Reaver. Probably not that.
But something like that.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
I've not actually got semaphore as a skill. I'll be directing the crew member who has hopefully got semaphore as a skill to respond. Is semaphore a skill? I don't think it is.
I think it would be. It would fall into one other.
So now that we're at the thing, I think it might be a good time to take a break to let people use the restroom and stuff.
Okay, yeah. We will take a restroom break. We will be back in 5 minutes. Let's make it 6 minutes and we'll call it on the half hour. So
6 minutes.
Thanks for watching and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. The crew of the ship has made their way to the Turner flotilla after discussion about what their next moves are. They've been flagged in and given a berth along the flotilla and are making their approach now. So, Luke, the way this basically works is, the whole flotilla, sails are up, like, on all of these little ships that are connected together. They're using the sails from everything to move this thing along. And when you berth with them, they're basically just adding you to the flotilla, just in a more temporary kind of manner.
Mm-hmm. So
that
we need to keep a few sailors working. We're part of this engine.
Yeah, and then actually, so what they do, since you're on a more temporary um, basis on the flotilla, once they get you attached, one of their people is actually going to take your helm. And it's people whose literal whole job is to operate the craft of berthed vehicles.
Okay.
That they've got the art down to sail with the flotilla.
It's valet parking.
Yeah, kinda. And the reason they do this is that they had too many ships of people who,
Didn't know how to sail attached to this thing.
Yeah, and it
Badness.
created problems. So now they've got people whose whole assignment is literally operating a craft floated to the flotilla without sinking ships.
I'll tip him a couple of doll hairs as he comes aboard.
Okay. Yeah. And then you berth in, and there's a dock master who he asks for his shillings, which
Here's you too, Bob.
yeah, that turns out to be about $100 each. We'll just call a shilling at 100.
Hey, pretty boy.
Grog actually turns. No wait.
I give you the side eye as I walk by, walking over to Sanyo. Hey, pretty boy.
Yes, impetuous child.
I need that journal back. Jared?
Hear that, audience? There be sea crickets.
Unusual prose.
Jared, say again.
I would not recommend writing in it in such unusual prose in the future.
Yeah. I'm going to the library. Give it. If you're talking, Jared, we got nothing.
No.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. He
He
does.
gave you the book, then said that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you gave the book. It didn't go through. All I heard was the writing bit. Okay, cool.
Yep. You now have the
Thanks.
book. I do want to mention, as you guys are on approach, the Tuscan crew is looking at this flotilla in just amazement. And the captain will look at you, Annabelle, and be like, "I'd heard rumors of this."
Oh,
Such a thing.
some of the wee uns have never seen the thing. Bring them up for a look.
Because yeah, this is a very impressive and massive thing. And there's definitely murmurings about it. And I also do want to mention, it doesn't look on our map like this thing is populated, but there's like 2,000 people on board this flotilla. Like, it is.
Where's our ship here?
You guys are berthed right here. How do I ping you
Hold
to it?
hold shift.
Hold shift.
Okay, that one there, I see.
Yeah, that's your guys' ship. You are berthed there.
Also, you might want to take the ship and click it and send it to the bottom because Luke is under it.
Oh. Does that fix it?
Yeah.
Alright.
That was funny.
Luke was just below decks.
Doing lunges out the window.
We gonna talk to the lady, Ma?
I'm thinking all the Tuscans we've taken aboard are to remain aboard for the duration. The rest of you are free to mingle and drink and whore and gamble.
We need to lay some guards.
Except for those on guard duty for the first bells, of course.
I am, and then a whole bunch of your crew just pops off and starts heading out in different directions.
Is brain damage leaving?
Yeah, I'm going with.
Before you go, my Shaishi friend, there was a matter I wish to discuss with you.
He stops it. Sure.
It is unwieldy to always call you my Shaishi friend. Seeing as you do not remember your name, perhaps a nickname would serve you well.
Yeah, they've been calling me brain damage because of the scar. He lifts
Perhaps
his
one that
hot
functions
helmet.
more as a name than a thing that happened to you. What I am asking is, how do you wish for me to address you, my Shaishi friend?
Uh,
BD.
I wish I could remember my name. Really, I have been remembering a few things, but not my name yet. Not even my family's name.
Very well. I informed you of something that was discussed between myself, the captain, and a few others. Our final destination, Ashikek. I was there to travel there. Perhaps a name reminiscent of Ashikek could serve as a nickname in the meanwhile.
Maybe.
What do you There is an animal in Ashikek legend that dies and is reborn anew. How would you think of being named after this animal? Al Finik.
Say it again.
Al Finik.
Jared, you might need to pop off and pop on again. That usually fixes your lag. We're getting really bad package loss from you.
Yeah.
Al Finik.
Oh God.
Mm, I like the sound of it. Uh, you know what, Sanyo? Yeah, I think I'll take on that name, at least for the time being. It's it's better than brain damage.
Very well. Now I will let you go about your business, Alfinik.
Alfinic. Yeah, I'm Alfinic. I die and I am reborn. He goes off after the birds.
Just don't kill any. All right, so it looks like a few of us have made our way to Admiral Lara Castero
Castillo.
Castillo
Castillero.
Castiero.
Castillo.
Is that like a castle that's also a horse?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded good to me.
Mm.
And yeah, I assume you knock on her. Or actually, no. There's the before you get there, you are stopped by Mia Velasquez, who you know to be the fleet's chief of security, and she says, "Ah, Captain Annabelle, how did your raid go?"
Perfectly. Although there is some strange business to be noted, but we've many tons of wood, much lumber for the fleet.
Oh, excellent! I will send a crew to the dock right now to get unloading. And she starts screaming, "Arthur!
After prices are negotiated, Mother.
Arthur! Get your dock crew down to the dock. Get ready to unload."
We've plenty of time to negotiate, girl.
Then yeah, this door opens up in front of you, and
Did Annabelle say that they were going to discuss matters related to the curse with the admiral?
No, but I would have wanted.
Okay, perhaps take a couple more people along.
Yeah,
the other
I also
captain
want
and
Cook here as well, and the
the
other
cook?
captain.
oh, okay, yeah.
I want
So
Cook here because I'm about to negotiate a bunch of food in return for
also
this.
because you'll be taking him with you to the special
Mhm.
place we got to return everything.
Gotta find everything first.
and then we also wanted to take Armando Cavallero with you.
Mhm. Oh God, no!
All right, cool. Yeah, everyone's there, and quartermaster opens the door and says, "Oh, Annabelle, so wonderful to see you." And then he, kind of grabs your shoulder and does that cheek kiss deal.
This Arthur Pierce.
Yes, this is
Oh damn, he's sexy.
Arthur Pierce.
My eyes narrow at him.
Another
Is he?
potential mother's suitors.
Has he got the bird as well,
Yes, he
or is that
does.
flat?
There,
Oh,
there
okay.
is definitely a bird on his shoulder.
Chee choo, chee choo. Hold my fingers up, rub its beak. Try and not.
It's actually snapping at you.
Yeah, I'll withdraw my hand. Like, I see the bird's as cute as.
He'll fish a bit of hardtack out of his pocket and hand it up to the bird, who,
Crunch.
yeah, obviously likes him. And he says, "Ah, I hear you've got I hear you've got a haul for us." The
Did the bird
admiral.
noise just happen? from somewhere.
Somewhere.
Squawk. Alright. Fuck you, Annabelle. Alright.
Was it looks more like a falcon than a parrot.
Yeah, it does.
So it's I'm definitely confusing the bird.
I think that's a sea falcon.
Something like that. It's squawking. And yeah, he proceeds to push through and says to Mia, I'll be at the docks. And he's taken off. I don't want to move that door. I want him, not of the many doors. Shit. Advanced layer, map layer. Layer, map layer. Layer, map layer. There we go. And he takes off. And then you can hear from the door behind you, Annabelle, get in here!
Hush, hurry on in.
Yep. And it's a big room, everybody can fit. Token size is not necessarily indicative of actual space taken.
Sanyo's big.
Yes.
And you'll need to drag Grog's token on.
Grog is a little bit late then because he's closing up the kitchen. Oh, that's a big Grog.
He probably would have done that before getting to.
Oh.
Yeah, you had 5 days of getting ready, so...
Oh, okay, then yeah, he's probably hanging up. Might have just been distracted from a salesman selling parrots, so he kind of gets one.
Okay. Alright, so Annabelle, you walk in, and you are tailed quickly by Captain Armando Cavallero. And at this, the Admiral, she starts by standing up and saying, Annabelle! Oh, I'm so glad to see you. And then the captain walks in, and her eyes narrow. And she's actually fingering a pistol. And who is this?
He's my captive for the time being. Captain of the vessel we liberated your lumber from. He was hauling more than lumber.
Was it gold? Lots and lots of gold? She says, possibly a little too excitedly.
No gold. More of a witch curse that may kill all my crew in the next 3 months or so.
She looks at you
2.75 months.
She looks at you kind of suspiciously, and then she starts laughing like, "Oh, Annabelle, you almost had me going there."
I don't laugh or smile.
Sanyo will roll down his sleeve. Roll up
Someone
his
had to
sleeve.
be touching cursed items.
Curses? You know that curses aren't real. It's just a bunch of hoo-ha to keep sailors in line.
Annabelle, Alfinic, show your arms as well.
Already rolling.
What do you make
my
of
sleeves.
these?
Yeah,
You,
pull up my bracers.
Annabelle, are very committed to this bit. You got matching tattoos for everyone?
Captain?
Perhaps we can take her to the skull and have her touch it so that she realizes the gravity of the situation.
Aye, we could about curse the whole fleet here, I think. No problem, but that's not our... Where did you hear this score, Lara? What grapevine did this lumber tremble down?
Scouts and spies. We keep scout ships rolling through the areas that we're sailing for.
So maybe it is just bad luck. And not a malicious intent.
Our spies in just told us that there was a shipment of lumber being readied to go out. And honestly, Puerto Clary, that's most of what they do, so we since we had the ability, we and need the lumber so constantly. It takes a lot of lumber to keep this heap above water.
Five tons ice.
I'm sorry, Luke, I missed that.
35.
35? 35 tons?
35. Aye.
Well, we'll discuss price.
So, daughter.
Aye.
Yeah, any description of these things we may be looking for?
The dragons? Were there any drawings or anything in there? James?
Yeah, there were drawings of each.
I was going to look it up in the library. I don't know if she'd be able to know much, but I will open the book and show it to her. Not handing it to her, show it to her.
She'll take a look at it and Captain, you are very dedicated to this bit. You can tell now by the tone of her voice that she's very confused and just trying to explain away the abnormal.
At this point, have you seen them?
Have I seen them? No.
All right, but keep your ear to the ground for us. But as for this wood, it's now time for Luke. You have done a trader before. I have not. Do you remember what the necessary roles are?
Yeah, I was looking for the book earlier. I always forget which one.
I think it's the swashbuckling one.
Oh, you damn traitors. Traitors.
Yeah.
I got it. But yeah, I don't remember which book it was either. I was looking for it a minute ago, but I could not find it.
I wasn't sure if we were going to look for, specific money. Really, what we need is supplies. Food for a long journey, a long voyage. Stuff to keep the crew happy. We'll need some payment as well. They'll be expecting a division from that raid.
But what would this be then?
Just merchant is the check.
Merchant.
It's always a quick
Sonia will
contest.
walk over and whisper something to Costana as she's thinking about money. There's a rule I can't find around that if you roll, two people roll, you can give them a +1 or +2. I forget which. To their.
Okay.
I used it in Mook's one shot.
Yeah, it's like
That rule.
a success lets you assist and get a +1, and a crit success gives you like a +2 or something. But then a failure means
Don't know
that
what to
they're at
search
like
in
a
the book to find
-1.
it though.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Oh,
it.
that was a success, but
Yep.
my stuff was.
Okay, yeah. You guys start haggling on price for the lumber. Were you gonna hold on to anything else, or?
The spices are probably quite valuable. I want to save enough for Cook. That's why he's here to tell me how many he needs out of that.
Would the inventory after I while I was closing the kitchen, have told me we need something specific?
Oh, we've got prices listed in the hold as well.
Yeah, I put the prices like the going rates on everything. So
So yeah, it's pretty much like a win in a merchant contest gives you +10%.
I beat by 7.
okay, so +1 because 2 people haggling with her, and then she. All right, so yeah, through a bit of haggling, you managed to get the prices up 20% of going rate.
Sick.
Um,
And then I'll figure instead
the
of
rules from GURPS action.
GURPS action.
Aha, action.
It's a +1 for success, -1 for failure, +2, -2 critical.
Just as I predicted. Excellent.
so we got it by 7% then.
No, that's
You made
that's
it by
the-
another 1, Castana.
Yeah, you
Oh,
succeeded by
yeah,
18.
you succeeded by 18 or by 8.
By 8.
Okay.
And Sanyo succeeded by 7. So we'll just call it 20% of.
So I mean, for game reasons, it'd probably be best if we just took the cash and then bought the stuff we needed. I mean, it could have been from trade, but it's probably easier just to do that mechanically.
Yeah, and like a lot of the other goods, you're actually gonna have to go and sell to specific people. Like the fleet's buying the lumber, but
Not the spices.
the spices are gonna be a merchant, and just all
We
the.
keep in that room. We need more room.
Not even gonna sell any of it. Just keep a 1-ton pallet of rum on hand.
Okay, well, what's 500 plus 20%? 600.
600.
600?
All right. So while Luke is working on that math and the divisions and everything, so you guys will be working on that. Everybody else got other things they want to do on board, I am sure.
Well, I have stuff I want to do on board, but I can't do it yet because the mother will yell at me.
Because you're bickering
You can
over
go to the
price.
library. If you're no inclined to believe about this, then we'll seek counsel elsewhere with other members of the fleet, the flotilla.
You really do believe you're cursed, don't you?
I know that we are cursed. And I would ask that you please disseminate amongst your crew rumors of that dragon statue there, rumors of this curse, and direct any of them to proceed to the cursed scream. Oh God, why did father name the boat that? For the time being that we are birthed, so that if they have any information, rumors, even the most small tidbit of knowledge will help us vastly right.
Is there some sort of reward for said rumors?
If they prove to be fruitful, aye.
I will start spreading the word, and she'll call some secretary into her office real quick, and she jots something down on a note and hands it to her and waves her away.
Is it Tracy? Pirate Tracy?
Pirate Tracy. No.
Boo.
It's just some meek-ish looking girl.
Eat the meek.
And yeah, she leaves and sits down at her desk and starts writing more. Basically just copying the note. And then
But-
Lara looks at you and says like, "Okay, so say I do believe you that you're cursed. What next? How do you do you have any leads? You said a dragon statue?"
We'll need to be going to Al-Shakek. It seems the only true course that we can figure from now will be taking us to the desert.
Al-Shakek, how do you propose on getting into Al-Shakek? That's where the bulk of the Tuscan fleet is.
We'll find a way through, and we've got a plenty knowledgeable guide for once we get there.
Okay. Well, if we can be of any assistance, let us know. Standard rates will apply. She cracks a grin.
For a cursed sister?
Curse or no, I've got a flotilla to keep on the move.
You're a tight bitch as always, you were.
She'll crack
But
a
I
grin
can no
at that.
fault you for it.
She'll crack a grin at that and open a drawer and grab a few glasses and a bottle of rum and pours it out.
Yep, we best get to drinking, boys.
Passes out some rum. Like, well, let's have a drink as we discuss this curse more.
Have you any sense of Mia?
Any what?
The female flowering plant of the hemp variety.
Oh. She cracks a grin at that, and yeah, a few pipes come out.
I've got
Or-
my own pipe.
No, actually, a bag comes out. She just slaps it on the table.
A bagpipe.
Only the finest we can get. Really, Grog? Really?
Well, that was out of character. Don't blame Grog for that.
I'll be stuffing my pipe and lighting a match off me boot as fast as possible.
Cool. Yeah. Room
Taking a
starts.
big drag of whiskey. It's called a pull when it's a drink.
Yep, it is. And it's rum, not whiskey.
Oh yeah, of course. Dark rum, I hope.
Nah, this is clear.
Spiced. Clear.
This is
Clear rum's technically better.
Technically.
Gross sailors invented dark rum by accidentally leaving casks open and letting it go a bit.
Off. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, you guys smoke and drink and talk. It looks like brain damage. La Phoenix. Al Phoenix wanders out of the room. Where you headed, Al Phoenix?
He is going just outside.
Okay. And to all the characters that this is a town as well. Like there's merchants and the standard town stuff. So if you're looking to purchase stuff, you can achieve that here.
I need to divide out the crew's shares, really.
Okay, so while Luke is working on that, let's jump to the library.
Yeah, about halfway through that the conversation, she gave an eye roll and wandered out.
Okay, yeah. So you get to the library where your friend Amelia Reynolds is. And you are at the door to the library.
How many crew members have I got again? A couple died, right?
Yeah, here, tell you what. You can count them. We'll just pop you back over to your ship while you count them. Let me know when you're done counting and I'll move everybody back.
You can, if you want, you can drag specific people to specific things by dragging their picture from the bottom or their name to that specific thing.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to go back to there so I can do this.
Yeah, and then if you just drag my name.
Oh, hey,
Yep,
that's awesome.
I am now on that map. And counting.
then if you want to drag them back, you just drag them onto the all players.
Cool. Awesome. The more you know.
Was it Amelia?
Amelia, yes.
Amelia!
Castana, my favorite little bookworm. You know, when you're gone, it is so hard to find anyone on board this flotilla to have a good conversation with.
They'd be daft.
Aye, that's true. Now, importantly, and her eyes narrow and glare at you, those books you took last time without permission.
I don't know what you speak of.
I didn't notice it.
Fine, I copied them anyway. And I'll reach into my bag and put them back on the table.
Ah, excellent. And then, yeah, she goes to two very specific spots on the shelves. Castana, you know that this room is very well organized. Like
That's why I put things out of place before I left. So you'd have to organize first to notice, and then I smile and go, but enough about that. I have pressing matters.
Ooh, pressing matters. What could those be, my dear?
I'm gonna pull to the page of the Four Dragons and be like, you know anything about these?
Those? What are those?
What was the name of the legend?
Oh, the legend of Admiral Joaquin
Yep.
Castellon?
Akin Castillon.
She, tilts her head and starts thinking for a minute. Yeah, she cocks her head and starts thinking for a moment, and proceeds to go through her bookshelves, and she's now got a stack of books, in her arms, like 8-9 books. And she comes back to her desk and plops them all down. It says, These dragons sound somewhat familiar. Let's start going through the library.
And I think we know what I'm doing for the next hours.
Yeah, you're gonna be here for a while.
Only by 3, but it's enough.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any bonuses. That was just a straight up roll from library size.
We'll give you a +2 because it's a big library with many topics that are covered.
Cool.
So
Then yeah.
we'll go with that. You're gonna be at that for a while, so I'm gonna skip
Yeah.
to some other people before we come to the results of that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so brain damage is doing his thing. Grog, we haven't heard a lot from you. Let's skip to Grog.
Since he was told there was something in session, he just stood there drinking rum with his new bird. So he's mostly trying to look for names for it, and he came up with the name Taco. So he's mostly talking to Taco, who are like, "So you're like hardtack biscuits?" And he offers it one.
Right. Hardtack, rock.
We're gonna get along just fine. Wonder when those lads are gonna be done with it. Meeting. Too bad they don't wait for old peg leg just because I'm slower.
Rock,
And
slow peg leg. Rock, slow peg leg.
you're gonna fit just fine in a pirate crew. Don't let them get you. But yeah, he's mostly been drinking and talking to the pirate like nonsensical for a long time.
Okay, so getting drunk with the pirates. Done and
Yeah.
done. And then brain damage is loitering.
Yeah, he's also going to restock his arrows once he gets his money.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess we cut to the captain and probably Sanyo, probably at the ship, working
Nope.
on. Oh, in the office.
Flotilla.
Okay, so you're still in the admiral's office, doing.
No, are you doing the captain first or Sanyo?
Oh, I thought you guys were still together. So let's do the captain getting paid.
Huh?
So yeah, you're divvying up funds.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Mm,
Just working out the number of shares.
yeah, so there's like 25 crew altogether. That's every.
And then you and Tara get
So a standard share would be 4%.
okay. And then
But then I don't know if you just divide it into those shares and then hand them out, but then people wouldn't be able to get as much. I think you need to like give the captain theirs and then give the quartermaster theirs.
Number of shares isn't the same as number of people.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, what I would do since the captain and the quartermaster get a double share, I would just do 27 shares. And
Yeah.
you two get 2. And
3 of them get 1.5, so 27.5, 28, 29. And are there any other officers?
No, but the ship should probably get like a share and a half as well as some.
The what?
31 total shares.
The ship for restocking.
Okay, you said a share and a half for the ship?
Yeah, does that put it to an even number?
31. 31.
I don't know if any of the crew were removed from this map after they died either.
I
We
did.
could make it an even 30. Oh, you did.
Yeah, I removed like 4 crewmen.
Just do any remainder towards the ship's share.
Okay, so
31 total shares.
So that's a share.
Aha.
And I got double that.
Yeah, you get 2 shares. I'm just going to put all my shares straight into the ships as well. I'll make a section in the hold for ship.
An extra 2 for the ship. 2 gold for the ship if you'd give the remainders.
Okay, thank you.
Crap, I don't remember. What was starting wealth again?
2,000.
$2,000.
2,000. Okay.
I write it at the top of the inventory.
Well, that's definitely a big enough chunk of change that it'll improve morale.
For 2 weeks' work, it's good. They might not get another payday for a while, though. We need to sell that spice also.
I will do that later. I am currently reading.
That's fine.
All right. So yeah, once you get the shares divided, it doesn't take too long before the crew who wandered off to start coming back wanting their pay because they're about to want to start spending it.
Mm-hmm.
So they all wander and you do the classic line, you go down the list of names and start checking off names, marking that everyone's got paid, and you'll note that there's 4 names on that list that have not come and collected. For obvious reasons.
Poor lads.
And yeah, they quickly disperse again into the flotilla, and that is pay. So yes, everybody's gotten paid. So I assume there's some shopping and whatnot that wants to be done, so feel free to make purchases if you want. We don't necessarily need to roleplay them. So we'll skip back to the library, I guess, unless anybody else is...
Sanyo?
Sanyo? Yes, Sanyo. What is Sanyo up to?
Sanyo wants to look for any information about witches and magic items and stuff. Using Streetwise?
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah, so you wind up probably going to the local like tavern, which we'll just say is there's a large tavern set up below deck here. We'll say that's that whole mid deck compartment there is set up to be a tavern.
You need to shift click.
I thought I did. Did that do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a large tavern, big conglomeration of people. Most people think you're crazy. Like, curses and witches, what are you talking about? A couple are very interested, but, through few minutes of conversation, you realize that they're just talking at their ass, and they're just interested in, the bullshit. But you do eventually find one person who, she actually seems to know a few things about the myths and legends of curses, and she's like, "Hi, they are very real. What, why do you?"
So you're just gonna reconnect because you're coming in very choppy.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay, back.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
We're gonna take a quick break, because you're probably not even seeing this